time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Let's hunt now. Let's hunt now. Let's go. Let's hunt. We ready. I'm going to the house. I'm going to the house. We're talking about the Jets like we're talking about the Saints. You know, all this hollering, we the Miami Heat of football. Yeah. The bottom line is you got to buckle up the chin straps. It's embarrassing. Yeah. Don't disrespect the game like that. There's too much crying from them.
He's a man.
He can be a kid just like us.
He's a man.
You ought to make the big money. He's a man. I'm calling you step on the field, man. That's who I did. When I step on the field, I send one message. This is what it feels like. Oh, my bad. You bad don't work in my world. What time is it? Game time. What time is it? Game time. What time?
Willy!
Silly! Let's go.
Man, one of my favorite parts of The Color Purple was when now who was it? Was it her sister that when she saw she said silly? Bruh, don't leave me hanging. I got my brother.
Oh, I'm on.
You live, bro. I came right to you. Hold on, let me fix my mic, man. I gotta be up here with my brother. Man, hey, what's going on, big dog, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Columbus, Ohio, where he covers the Ohio State Buckeyes. He covers them Cleveland Browns. I'm going to have to pray for him about that and all other sports. It's none other than Mr. Will Knows from the Will Knows podcast, Willy Gibson. What it do, brother? How you feel?
What up, though? You got it. What's happening?
Man, what's going on up in Columbus today? Is it, 40 degrees, 45? What is it?
No, bro. Right now, that's a good question. Right now, 86. 86.
Oh, man. Look, y'all got on coats and hoodies and stuff?
Nah, bro. It's like heat indices in the hundreds, 106,
What?
107.
What?
Yeah, bro. It's real up in these streets up here.
Hey, man, you know, I used to be up there in that natty. It used to be hot. Chicago, man, is one of them cities. The only city, one of the cities I know you can die from heat and summer. I mean, from heat and winter in the same year.
Oh, you can do that in the same day here in Columbus. You catch the right day, you get it.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And Willie, you born and reared up there in Columbus?
No, sir. I'm a kid from Akron.
Oh, that's right. I keep trying to move you out of Akron, man. Well, how you end up over in Columbus and you an Akron kid like LBJ?
Well, this little institution, small organization you may have heard of, the Ohio State University.
Little college, a little small liberal.
Yeah, they made a call, and I answered, and here it is. What, 29 years later?
Hey, I got to get ready to take my first break, but I thought about you as soon as somebody sent me this story. Coaches that are most likely to get a job as a head coach, assistant coaches, and they talked about Freeman over at Notre Dame, the defensive coordinator. And I looked down at his pedigree, and all I saw was the Ohio State University. I said, "Yup, get that man a job. Get that man a job." Now, question is he going to be the next Urban Meyer, or is he going to be the next Tom Herman? There's a difference.
Oh, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, they ain't the same.
No.
They ain't the same. Speaking of Tom Herman, where is he now? What is he doing?
Last I heard, he was in camp with the Bears as a consultant, observing. Yeah, I don't know where that stands.
Translation, we're going to bring you in just in case we fire our head coach. We know you know how to backstab, so just hang out over here until we figure out what we're going to do, all right?
Pretty much. Your words, not mine.
Yeah, and you know the deal. Don't get in trouble with me. If I say something you wouldn't say, leave it alone and let me just let it marinate. But, hey, Willy Gibson's got with me for this first segment, and we'll be right back. I'll take a quick break. We'll come back. I got questions. I know you have answers because Will knows right here on the lunch break. Throwback Thursday on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM.
I am Jacqueline Carr, and here is your winning strategy. You may not walk on water literally as Jesus or Peter did, but your water may consist of starting a business, forgiving yourself of your past, or bringing to light the invention you envisioned. Individuals are fearful of different goals, but no matter what your fear is, sometimes you must stare it directly in the eyes while going for your goal. Fear is not your friend, but it is the enemy to all. The Bible says, fear not 365 times. That's enough for every day in the year. Fear is not of God, which also means it should not be a part of who you are or what you display. The key to winning is destroying fear and its sentiments with the Word of God.
What's up? This is Riley. And a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the applewood bacon. It's savory and then it's also kind of sweet. And I think the combination of bacon with chicken and Colby Jack cheese, it just really knocks it out of the park.
Hey, I'm Tanea. A little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Grilled Chicken Club sandwich is the chicken. It's so juicy. It's grilled to perfection. I'm gonna devour this sandwich.
Order the Grilled Chicken Club sandwich.
You sure did.
Let's paid for the testimonials.
Are you paying too much
Oh,
for
gosh.
term life
Leave me
insurance?
alone, Willie.
There's a
Leave me
tremendous
alone.
I'm not doing it.
You about to mess up my sponsorships. Leave me alone. That's my change.
Nah, it's all love. I love
My babies need shoes like yours get.
per month.
Please believe
level
it.
for the next 10 years. Or a
Please
Med-Aid
believe it.
50 non-tobacco user can buy $500,000 of
Trying to
coverage
download
for
a sponsor
monthly
commercial
premium of
now.
only $110. Guaranteed not to change for the next 20 years. That's right.
Look, we're getting a few buys over here on the lunch break. We get a few buys.
For you as well. At the Term Lifeline,
I love sponsors. I would love some.
$500,000
Right. Somebody said, I don't want to come on your show. You have too many commercials.
Replacement
Bye-bye.
term life insurance
Bye-bye.
right now for a
Bye.
Yeah.
Posts are based on preferred non-tobacco underwriting exams required to qualify.
Gotta get them in. Gotta pay the bills.
Please believe it.
800-298-0139. 800-298-0139. That's 800-298-0139.
Yo, this is Claude Cummings Jr., Vice
do your
President of Communication Workers of America District 6. Trey and I are inviting you to listen in to our new political talk show, Power to the People Political Hour. Hello, this is Trey Daniels from the Daniels Group. Yes, Claude, the show will be hard-hitting and informative, talking about national and local political issues of the day,
Let's get it.
and month. Interviews will be with
Yes,
pastors,
sir.
leaders, elected officials, and political operatives. You know, Claude, a part of our
How about
responsibility
somebody that message I got earlier? They resent.
to the people. That's right, Trey.
Say
We're
resent.
asking that you listen in
Sabah.
on 11:40 p.m. 92.3.
The same message. They resent it.
It's a bot.
They want you, man. They want some. They want this smoke. We said don't give it to them.
No.
All right, here we go.
There's a reason for everything. Just don't do it. That's Chris Rock.
Oh, man.
Hey guys, this is your girl Brandy Nelson, and you are listening to The Lunch Break on KYO.
Big shout out to my sister, Brandy Nelson, doing her thing. Brandy Nelson Mack doing her thing. I'm doing my thing with my brother, Will Gibson, from the Will Knows podcast. He's a broadcast journalist from up in Columbus, Ohio. And you know what today is. It's Throwback Thursday, but it's also the day we rock and represent those HBCUs. And Will, you know, I got a young brother who produces the show, and he said the lunch break is going to be known as the Houston connection for HBCU sports and more. I said, come through. I like that. You?
Oh yeah, without question.
I'm tagging it with everything. Your Houston connection for HBCU sports and more. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I'm all in that. Of course, we've got tickets to give away to the State Fair Classic. That's Grambling versus Prairie View. I'm rocking Grambling today because I got a shout out to Camilio Bagsby. He was the winner of 2 tickets yesterday to the State Fair Classic. And just in communicating with that brother, I had to give some love to the Grambling State Tigers today on HBCU Day. So, Willie, that's what we doing, bro. That's what we doing.
Yeah, I'll see Grambling next week.
Oh, that's right. The Hall of Fame Classic.
Yeah.
Coach Johnny Cole, former TSU championship coach, is going to be up there for that game. He and I are going to do the HBCU stroll every Monday because we're a couple of noobs, and we're going to stroll down those HBCU campuses and recap what they did football-wise. So, yeah, that's going to be good. You going to that game? Oh, Willie froze on me. Willie, can you hear me? Willie G, can you hear me? All right, Willie, if you can hear me, man, come back in. It froze up on you. All right, we'll get him back because I got questions for him about some things going on with the Big Ten and with some other conferences. And Longhorn Keith, man, you were talking about the commissioner of the Big 12, and that's a dude that just does not get it. I mean, when I tell you he just does not get it, I mean, he had a whole lot to say about what the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC are doing. But has he said anything positive about what the Big 12 is doing? Because I'm underwhelmed with this dude. Very underwhelmed with this dude. Let me go to his comments. The commissioner of the Pac-12, I'm sorry, Big 12, which is really like the Big 4 or 5, Bob Bowlesby, said this in his comments yesterday. He said, let me get two of them. The practical impacts of the arrangement are yet to be seen, Bowlesby said. The Big 12 Conference has every expectation that we will continue to compete at the highest levels and will be intimately and actively involved in the national athletics agenda. And I got news for you. If it were not for the other conferences propping this dude up, he'd be absolutely done talking about the alliance between the Big 12, Pac-12, and the ACC, and Commissioner Bob Bowlesby of the Pac-12 or the Little Four, whatever they are, made his comments about the practical impacts of the arrangement are yet to be seen. This is the statement that I wanted to get out there. ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips said, "We want and need the Big 12 to do well. The Big 12 members matter in college athletics." If it wasn't for the ACC and other conferences getting ready to save his behind, they would be done. They would be absolutely done. Where is this dude coming from, Will?
He's attempting to come from a position of power, which we both know he doesn't have. But he can't let his constituents know that he doesn't have the power of which he's speaking of. So he's got to say something. He had to say something. He knows people know what's going on. His two anchors, if you will. I mean, I look at it like a shopping mall. You know, every shopping mall is an anchor store, whether it be Macy's, whether it be Dillard's, whether it be Saks, and there's two anchors left. So to save face, he has to say something. He can't sit back and be idle. He has to say something, whether it's good, bad, right, or wrong. He's just doing what he had to do.
Longhorn Keith called in yesterday and said what a lot of folks didn't realize, the fact that they're bringing in Oliver Luck, Mr. Oliver Luck, former commissioner of the XFL. He was a commissioner in a professional soccer team. He used to be a bigwig over at U of H. Oliver Luck is being brought in to help Bowlesby do his job. Where they do that at, Mr. Position of Power? They're not doing that in the ACC. They're not doing that in the Big Ten. They're not doing that in the Pac-12. So where they do that at?
Yes, I don't know this to be a fact. This just sounds as though a friend helping a friend. Like, look, I need your help. And okay, I'll do it. So, but yeah, it's the beginning of the end. If you're doing things like that, to me, it's the beginning of the end.
So tell us more about this alliance from what you know, what you've heard, given that you cover the Big Ten I know a lot of folks say, well, what did they actually say? What did they actually do? I think it's going to be a great thing when they lock it down. But the fact that they've been able to announce that they're willing to do it is a huge thing for me.
Honestly, first of all, it's a gentleman's agreement. There's nothing to lock down. It's nothing signed. There's nothing. It's a gentleman's agreement that we will work together on cross scheduling once all current contractual obligations have been fulfilled.
All right. Okay. All right. So whoever they are contractually bound to play home and away or whatever non-conference now. They're going to finish that out, and as soon as that's done, they're going to fill that with Pac-12, ACC, and Big Ten opponents.
Now, give you context to that. Ohio State has a home and home with Alabama of the SEC in 2027 and 2028. So we're minimum 7 years away from this even going forward.
Okay,
so now you kind of see where I'm like, what did they say? What did they say?
All right. What is this feeling that the Pac-12, the Big 12 has to survive? Why are they required to be a power conference? Why is that?
I don't know that they're required. I mean, everybody's trying to save face at this point, and I don't understand. I really don't. The SEC, I don't understand it from the perspective of, and I said this on Sunday on Folks Talking Sports. The SEC, we're not worried about Vanderbilt. We're not worried about Mississippi State.
Right.
The SEC is 4, maybe 5 teams out of 16. We're looking at Alabama. We're looking at Florida. We're looking at LSU. We're looking at Georgia. Maybe Auburn. So I don't understand the panic and the reactionary steps that people are taking. Oh, the SEC, we got to do something. No, you don't. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Is it a race for the TV money?
No, because Big Ten has a $2.64 billion TV deal right now. So what are we race for? Well, no. They just signed, was it 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
They signed a $2.64 billion with the B dollar TV deal. So I don't think it's that.
Yeah. Yeah, Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist from Columbus, Ohio, joining us on the show. We're talking about the announcement that the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC made, and I don't know what even to call the statements made by Bob Bowlesby, the commissioner of the Big 12-ish. Obviously the Big Ten is not hurting TV-wise, ratings-wise, power-wise, or anything like that. Do you see them making any adjustments to their conference alignment, given that UT and Oklahoma, they say they're going to live out their contract, but we all know they're probably going to go as soon as they decide they're ready to go?
It wouldn't be a reaction to them. It would be, the Big Ten is always looking to improve. So, the Big Ten is at 14 teams right now. So if they see a fit, a Notre Dame, a University of Cincinnati, an Iowa State, if either of those or any non-name school at this point, if they see a fit, then they'll pursue it. But it won't be reactionary in response to Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. It's what's best for this conference.
I got you. Looking at the Big 12-ish, are there any schools, you mentioned Iowa State, are there any other schools that are there that would be a good addition to the Big Ten?
No. Kansas called. Yeah,
well, Kansas need to quit calling people. They need to quit calling people. I'm sorry. That's never mind. I'm going to be nice today. I said bad Kermit was going to win today. Good Kermit is trying his best. So
that's what's up.
Okay, thank you. Who else?
Iowa State would probably be it. Iowa State would probably be it.
No Oklahoma State. No Oklahoma State.
No, just holistically, in totality, no, not for the Big Ten.
Okay.
Not for the Big Ten.
What about a TCU or a Baylor or a Kansas State?
No. Individually, no. Because, again, Ohio State, or excuse me, the Big Ten Conference, they're not really, first of all, it has to be a fit academically.
Yeah.
And 13 of the 14 schools in the Big Ten right now are AAU schools. So it's not going to just be.
Somebody asked me that. Somebody asked me, what does that mean? You've said it, and one of the other guests have said, tell people what an AAU school is.
I sure will. I had to look it up because I want to make sure I say it properly.
Sure. And I gave him a off the cuff answer. I said, you know what, when Willie says it again, or we get together again, I was going to ask him that. But that's a question that's been out there for a couple of days.
Sure. It's the AAU is the Association of American Universities. And what that means simply is there's a group of schools, I think it's 90, both private and public schools. And it's comprised of America's leading research universities, 66 schools. I apologize. So AAU's 66 research universities transform lives through education, research, and innovation. So it's not just Bedlam, if you will, no disrespect.
Right.
It's
I got it.
It's the Big Ten is looking for schools. 65 of the 66 AAU schools are leading research universities. And 13 of the 14 Big Ten schools right now are AAU schools.
Yeah. No, that says a lot. That says we're not just winning on the football fields and the basketball courts and the baseball diamonds. We're winning in technology and research and education on a whole nother level. And if the Big Ten is using that as a benchmark and as a core value, then more power to them for that.
And I mentioned Iowa State specifically because they are an AAU school.
Okay.
So Oklahoma State is not. Just perusing the list real quick. Kansas is. They called, but they were. I think they're still on hold in Chicago at the Big Ten offices.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah, we're gonna get them.
So, Iowa State.
Okay.
Yep.
Iowa State is not a bad program either, and that natural rivalry between Iowa and Iowa State would be, for that region would be good TV. Will Gibson joining us here on the lunch break for our Throwback Thursday. In addition to what's going on down there in the SEC, the fact that the Big Ten is pretty much set, where do you see the Big 12-ish trying to stop the bleeding or put stop the leaks that are coming in profusely in their conference?
I mean, they have 8. So to get back to 12, you have to look at and I know my counterparts, my colleagues at 12 Talking Sports may not want to hear this, but the AAC.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at a Houston, you look at perhaps a Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Those type of schools, I mean, the Big 12, they could come for those schools, offer them a great deal more than what they have. And I understand, again, Michael Resco, you gotta stomp for your squad. You gotta stomp for your conference. I get it. You have to. But you're not the 5th major. I mean, you're not the Power 6.
Yeah.
Great tagline. It's wonderful. I applaud the gumption for you to speak of your conference in that manner. It's just not true.
Yeah.
And so if a Big 12 comes and says we have Baylor, TCU, Oklahoma State, Kansas. Why not Houston?
I know Houston wants to be at a Power 5. When they look at what's happening with their basketball program, they want to be able to come from a Power 5 and get the kind of recognition they feel like they deserve. And I'm not mad at Kelvin Sampson for wanting to do that, because he has done a great job to put them in that discussion on a frequent basis. Same thing with Memphis. If you look at what they're doing basketball-wise, yeah, both of those schools have had some success football-wise, but obviously they're going to have to step up that side of it. But from a basketball standpoint, those are two schools that could benefit from being in a Power 5 conference versus the Group of 5.
Oh, without question. I mean, the announcement yesterday for Memphis, Imani Bates committing to Coach Penny Hardaway and Memphis basketball program. I mean, you put him against Texas, against Kansas, against Iowa State, against Oklahoma State, against Baylor, the national champion. So, absolutely. And I think Baylor, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm going to ask the question now. Let's answer it respectfully, because I if nothing else, my heart for HBCUs has gotten, it's just limitless. When Deion Sanders says that the Big 12 ought to give him a call, is there a conference out there that you can see an HBCU school jumping to from the SWAC or the MEAC or one of the other conferences that they're in?
It's always an option. I mean, Tennessee State is in the Ohio Valley Conference. So the OVC is
North Carolina A&T jumped over to the Big South this year.
Sure. So there's absolutely, I mean, the playing field is leveled, and I think what's leveling it is name, image, and likeness.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what also is leveling it is a Deion Sanders at Jackson State and Eddie George at Tennessee State. They're going to bring in resources that perhaps may not have been available prior to their arrival on campus. That exposure, number one. I mean, Deion's been a proponent from day one of calling out media outlets for not covering HBCUs. And so that alone is, I mean, what is it? Aflac has a commercial with Coach Sanders and Coach Saban. And
What I love, did you see the one that came out today with Coach Sanders coming out of the office? He's on his phone, and here comes the band, and here come the cheerleaders. And I'm like, come on through, Coach. Come on through.
Exactly. So you have that now. So it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. And here's why I said let's answer that respectfully, because I think a lot of times people look at these Power 5 conferences and they say, oh, they're so tough, and oh, they're so this, and Jackson State would get washed, all through, I'm sorry, no, sir. Like you said earlier, it's top heavy, it's not bottom heavy. It's not top heavy all the way down. You've got in the Big 12, you've got Oklahoma, you've got Iowa State, and I'm doing it the right way. You've got Oklahoma State, you've got UT, and then you got a bunch of question marks. TCU, you can slide them one way or the other. Baylor had a couple of flashes in the pan. Kansas State had some run back in the day. Texas Tech, it's always been fun to watch, but it ain't always been successful. And then you got a lot of,
Right.
I'm not saying they're going to go in and win the conference. I'm not saying they're going to go in and be number 2 or number 3, but I'm saying they're not going to always come in and be washed. Put Jackson State against a Vanderbilt. I'd like to see that. I'd love to see that. I'm not saying they're going to win. I'm just saying I don't think it's going to be as bad as people think. Didn't Tennessee lose to North Carolina A&T? Who did North Carolina A&T beat when Coach said, and tell them, bring me my money?
Bring me my money. That's a great question. Who was it? I have to look that in. I have to look into that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Don't forget that Michigan got their heart broken by Appalachian State, and I know that's not an HBCU, but what I'm saying is there are those games where those quote unquote lesser schools get the job done. And oh yeah, by the way, when you got to play those schools week in and week out, guess what? Sometimes the lesser schools get better, and some of the better schools don't get better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you'll see a school like, for example, Jackson State.
Yeah.
They have players on their roster from USC, from Auburn, from Alabama.
Yep.
These kids are like, I can go play right now, and I can play for an NFL Hall of Famer that knows what it takes to get me to the league. That's what it's about. So, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Coach Johnny Cole said it when he was on the show. He said he had 8 D1 transfers on his squad the year that Texas Southern won the SWAC. And, you know, like you said, they wanted to come and play for him. They wanted to come and get those life experiences from a coach that was taking an interest in them on and off the field. And I just think that, you know, if you keep hearing it on the major networks, it'll always sound impossible. But when you get out there and see they play with the same football on the same field, and now you got some coaches who have come from that NFL pipeline that know how to put in those pro-style offenses and defenses, and now you're seeing guys from HBCU's names pop up on Super Bowl winning teams and on Pro Bowls and things like that. Hey, man, I think that's going to get bigger, not less.
Oh, without question. I mean, we've only just begun. North Carolina A&T beat East Carolina.
East Carolina.
23.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. East Carolina is Big East, or
I know they're in the power. No, they're not in the power.
No. You know where they are? They're in the AAC, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Football, bang, AAC. Hang on. American Athletic. Boom. Why did it go right there? I don't want to go there. Thank you. Yeah, East Carolina is in the AAC. Exactly. Yeah, they're in the AAC. That's okay. That's tell them what he said. Tell them, bring me my money.
Bring me my money.
Hey man, listen. Willy Gibson joining us here on Throwback Thursday on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. We're talking about these conference alignments and all of that. Willie, I'm going to take a break. When I come back, let's move up to the big boy level, and let's talk about some of that. We got a couple of quarterbacks that have been named as starters, and I want to get your thoughts on that. And we need to have a real grown-up talk about your Cleveland Browns and what you really feel about them. I know this is about to be tough, and I want you to know I love you before we get into it, because you are up in Columbus, right? You're not around, are you?
Yeah, what's up? Who you trying to convince, me or you?
I'm just checking. I'm just trying to come out the details. We'll be right back with Willy Gibson right here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all new 92.3 FM.
In 1140 AM and 92.3 FM, the legendary KYOK.
Do you have high blood pressure or diabetes? Are you over the age of 65 and covered by Medicare? Then pay close attention to this message. Medicare has introduced some new benefits to help consumers during these cautious COVID-19 times. They realize many of you don't want to leave your home to visit a doctor. So now you can get a remote patient monitoring device shipped to your home at little or no cost to you. Now your doctor can identify your problems in real time, which could potentially save your life. Victory Medical can easily ship this monitoring device directly to your home at little or no cost to you. If you have high blood pressure or diabetes, and you're covered by Medicare, make this free call right now to see if you qualify for a new remote patient monitoring device. Call now. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. 800-213-9527. That's 800-213-9527. Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours. Any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I
What's
Need
up?
to Sell My House
with the Currys,
Fast.
man?
We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your
Listen,
home.
man, I stay on the court. I'm not.
No listing,
Bruh.
no waiting. Sell any home, any
I'm
size,
like, no,
any
bro, not Miss
condition.
Curry. She's somebody's
Now,
Sunday school
call the
teacher, man. Don't
expert
say that
team at
about her.
I Need to
Stop
Sell
that.
My House Fast. Make this free call now. 800-306-1760.
Hey.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760.
Bye.
That's 800
No. Who's next?
If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19,
Oh,
pay
my
close
gosh.
attention to this message.
No,
You
sir.
may
Not me.
benefit of over
Man.
$300,000. The
Brother,
U.S. government has set up a
sister,
fund to pay
cousin,
families
friend.
relief if they've lost a loved one due to
Nephew.
COVID-19. We know
Prophet,
this is
Nephew.
and this fund
No.
Somebody, won't somebody
the
help
compensation
me, please?
includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now.
Oh
There's
my
no cost to
gosh.
you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047.
All right.
800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047.
This is Jasmine Highsmith. You're having exotic sports with your lunch here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK.
Daughter of former Oiler great and great at the U, Alonzo Highsmith. That's Jasmine Highsmith. Jasmine's getting married real soon, man. I ain't got my invitation, Jasmine. I hate to have to walk through your wedding like your drunk uncle. I'm just saying. I think she's getting married out of the country though, so she might be all right. I might not stroll through there like if it was around the corner. So, Willy Gibson, you remember Alonzo Highsmith?
Yeah, I remember Zoe. I remember Alonzo playing at the U and Houston, and he boxed for a while. He actually was in Cleveland.
He did box for a while. He sure did.
Yeah, he was VP of player. He was VP of player personnel. First 2 years I covered Cleveland, so yeah, I know Zoe very well. Very well.
Yeah, man. And I was really hoping he was going to get the Texans job, but from what I understand, they didn't give him a serious look because the search committee didn't have him as one of their premier candidates. So just ridiculous. But anyway, good dude. He's up in Seattle now. He was with Green Bay for a minute too, in their front office as well. So very good dude. Amazing family, man. When I tell you, good people through and through. And again, real happy for his daughter getting ready to get married. So we talked about before the break, we were going to talk a little NFL action. A couple of quarterbacks have been named as the starters. Justin Fields did not get the starting job in Chicago. They're going with Andy Dalton, Katy High School, Texas Christian, TCU, and formerly with the Cincinnati Bengals. Cost Marvin Lewis his career. And then in Jacksonville, they have named Trevor Lawrence the starter over Gardner Minshew. No surprise there for me. What about you?
No. I mean, he picked the number one overall. Gardner Minshew's been there. They know what they have with him. So yeah, you got to start Trevor Lawrence, and then with Justin Fields and Andy Dalton, Justin shouldn't start. Andy Dalton should be the starter. That line is atrocious.
Very.
That offensive line is awful, and so why would you put that young man behind that porous offensive line? So yeah, you got to start Andy Dalton now. Week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, yeah, perhaps. But right now, no.
What is it going to take for the Bears to feel like they can start? And again, I never, ever want to discuss injuries like that. Like, how long before he gets hurt till this dude gets out? I'm talking about that. But is it they've got to be out of it position-wise, wins and losses-wise, or Andy Dalton is just so untenable as a quarterback that they got to try another option. What do you think it's got to take for them to be able to get Justin Fields on the field as a start?
I think they know now. I think they have a plan now, whether it's the first 4 games, whether it's the first 6 games. I think they just want Justin, maybe it's to get him to go through a series of game weeks, because camp versus game week is totally different. I mean, you know that. So perhaps it's a situation where they want him to go through a game week or 2 or 3. And they look at their schedule. I think they kick off, they start with the Rams. Their second game escapes me. I know they're in Cleveland week 3. And then I believe they play Detroit in week 4. Maybe it's Green Bay in week 2. I don't recall, but I know that first 4 or 5 game stretch, you may want to go ahead and let your rookie quarterback just sit back, watch, and learn. And then once he has his feet wet, you've seen Andy Dalton, put him in there at that point.
At Rams, September 12th. Home versus the Bengals, September 19th. At Cleveland, September 26th. The Lions at home, October 3rd. At the Raiders, October 10th. Home versus Green Bay on the 17th. At Tampa Bay on October 24th. On the 31st, they've got the 49ers at home. On the 8th of November, they've got at Pittsburgh, and then they got their bye week. Bye week for them is week 10.
Maybe bring him back after the bye for the last 7 games. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the last 7 games after the bye.
After 10 games, you ought to know where he is. You ought to know what's happening. You ought to know where you are position-wise. And those are some tough games, by the way, looking at those games for Chicago. Beating the Rams on the road, they both have new quarterbacks, so it could happen. They should beat the Bengals. They'll lose to the Browns. They should beat the Lions. They may lose to the Raiders. They're going to lose to the Packers. They're going to lose to Tampa Bay. That 49er game at home will be interesting, and I don't see them winning in Pittsburgh.
Right. So you bring Justin Fields in week 11. Who's the game after the bye?
Looks like the Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens at home, at Lions. Then you got Cardinals at home, at Green Bay, Minnesota at home, at Seattle, Giants at home, and then at Minnesota.
Yeah, there's not an ideal place to break him in. Yeah. So you just got to do it. But I think they at least give him the first quarter of the season to sit back and observe.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
See where they are and go forward.
I give that as well. Technically, Trevor Lawrence is the only rookie that beat out an incumbent to be the starting quarterback. But is it really the case? Because once Urban Meyer got the job and he was brought in to coach up Trevor Lawrence, we knew Trevor Lawrence was going to be the starter day one, right?
Oh, without question. Without question.
Yeah.
He tried to make it a competition in order to not make it appear that they gave Trevor Lawrence the job, but everyone knew.
Yeah. As I look at these rookies who have a chance to compete for the starter, I guess the question marks on beating out an incumbent would be Mac Jones up in New England. Probably has the best chance to do that. I don't think Trey Lance is going to beat out Jimmy G. And then, of course, you got Zach Wilson, but he's not beating out an incumbent because they traded the incumbent away. So he's been given the starting job.
And he has no one behind him now.
He sure doesn't. No,
That's
sir.
Amazing. I mean, you brought in Andy Dalton to sit in front of Justin Fields, to give him the example, to learn. You have Jimmy G in front of Trey Lance. Zach Wilson has no one. And that's a shock that they didn't at least bring in a veteran. I mean, Josh Rosen, somebody. I don't know. But
that's why everybody's impressed with what the Jets are doing for bringing in Robert Salah. And I got news for you. They're still the Jets. They're still a poorly run organization. When you look at just that simple thing alone, just tells you they don't know what they're doing still.
Yeah, that was amazing that they didn't bring someone, not a threat, just someone. I mean,
Josh Johnson. Josh Johnson. That's who they brought in, the veteran. I'm gonna drink my water. Go ahead. You go ahead and answer that. I'm gonna drink my water.
Yeah. Again, I say, I mean, someone to bring in to at least make it appear, and then just someone to bounce off of, to learn from. So that was interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what he's going to learn in that quarterback room where it ain't a lot to learn in that quarterback room.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
And folks think I'm being mean and disrespectful, but I just speak the truth, the whole truth, and ain't nothing but the truth. So Willy Gibson, broadcast journalist, joining us on the lunch break. Give me 3 things that we should be looking forward to with the Cleveland Browns this year. 3.
John Johnson III, safety, free agent signing from the Rams. Myles Garrett has a running partner on the opposite side now, Jadeveon Clowney.
Right.
You know a lot about from down there in Houston.
Absolutely.
Bringing him and Myles Garrett on opposite ends. Just meet me at the quarterback. Let's go do this. And then just the defense. The defense as a whole. Notice I named everything on defense because Andrew Berry rebuilt this defense. I mean, we had guys, Cleveland had guys starting in that playoff game last year that probably would not, that probably on our rosters right now. The depth on the defense was not there. And so he took it upon himself this offseason to rebuild that defense. Troy Hill and the slot corner.
Mm-hmm.
John Johnson at the safety position. You have Jadeveon Clowney.
Willie, you didn't freeze up on me, are you? Did you? Willie, this is your moment to shine about your Cleveland Browns, and you froze up. Willie. Oh, Willie. Willie. Story of his life. That's the story of the Cleveland Browns fans right there.
And so now that he's there.
Oh, okay, you back. You blanked out on us for a second, Willie.
I'm here. I'm
here. I'm glad you're here because I'm like,
I can't hear you.
This is you can't hear me? Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. No.
All right, drop off and come back.
Okay.
All right. Let me bounce him. I'm gonna bounce him.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce him and we'll get him back on for a hot minute. That's the story of the Cleveland Brown fans right there. Cleveland Brown fans, every time you get a moment to shine, something like that happens. I feel bad for y'all. I really do. But I don't know. You gotta figure it out from somewhere. Poor Cleveland Brown fans. All right, let me do this. Okay, he's back. Let me see if we can get him back on. All right, Willie, can you hear us now?
I can hear you now.
All right, come on, brother. I was talking about the poor Cleveland fans. That was their moment to shine, and we couldn't hear you.
So let me ask you this: are the Cleveland Browns the new Brad Stevens on the lunch break?
No.
Okay. Because that seemed very interesting.
No, I want Cleveland to do well.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Seriously, all joking aside, Cleveland has been the parallel of the Houston Texans for a long time. And folks never understood why I would have Nick Padone on. I would have some other folks from Cleveland Sports Talk on. And then when you and I got connected, bring you on. Because there's a lot of parallels between the Cleveland Browns and the Houston Texans. There were a lot of parallels with the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Rockets for a while until they got rid of LeBron. And then, but now we're back in the same boat because of rebuilding. So no, seriously, I see similarities like that. I promise you, I'm not beating up on them.
Absolutely. But the defense, I mean, Andrew Berry did a tremendous job this offseason rebuilding the defense, providing depth on the defensive side of the ball on all 3 levels. And I think it's going to pay off tremendously beginning week 1 at Kansas City.
Okay. Are you expecting them to win that game, honestly?
Honestly, I'm expecting them to go into Kansas City Arrowhead Stadium on September 12th and come out with a maximum effort performance. Like that? Like that? I'm Kirk Cousins today. You like that?
How much more time you got? You got time? You got time?
Hey, as they say, I got time today.
Stay right there. I gotta run a couple of spots, and I want to come back with Will Gibson, Will Knows Podcast. Let me hit a commercial for you real quick, and then we'll have Sybil Wilkes right here. Our new sponsor is Zumba Studio Plus.
Hey y'all, it's Natasha Marie and I'm here today to talk to you about Studio Zumba Plus. Studio Zumba Plus, whether you're more than just Zumba, is Houston's new prime location for fitness classes, body contouring, and event space rental needs. Oh, and I cannot forget $5 line dance Fridays. So get on over to Studio Zumba Plus, where their motto is you dance it off, contour it off, and then celebrate with a party that is off. They are located on 13018 Woodforest Boulevard, Suite E. That is 13018 Woodforest Boulevard, Suite E. Book your appointment at StudioZumbaPlus.com. That's StudioZumbaPlus.com. And their telephone number is 737-808-1408. 737-808-1408. 737-808-1408. There are no more excuses, y'all. Let's get it.
Yeah, man, I love that. I love that energy. Studio Zumba Plus right here. New sponsors of the show. I'm going to try and get her to call in so we'll get a chance to hear from her. A lot of folks want to get that Rona weight off and that quarantine weight off. Studio Zumba Plus is the place to do it. So thank you so much. We're going to be hearing more from them in the second hour. Willie, before I come back to you, the Astros scratched out a run in the bottom of the 10th inning, and they finally beat Kansas City. Final score there was 6-5. They are going to take on the Texas Rangers tomorrow at 7:05. The good news is Alex Bregman was back in the starting lineup. He scored the winning run. Also, the Texans going to finish up their preseason on Saturday.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
The views and opinions expressed on all radio shows broadcast on KYOK are entirely those of the host, guests, and callers, who are entirely responsible for all show content and do not in any way reflect the opinions of KYOK Radio, its sponsors, staff, or management.
All right, y'all. We're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM, streaming live on KYOKradio.org. And I'm hanging out with my brother like no other, Willy Gibson, Will Knows Podcast. Willie is broadcast journalist up in Columbus, Ohio. He covers the Ohio State University, but he also covers those Cleveland Browns. He covers the Big Ten, and he just knows a whole lot about sports. So, Willie, appreciate you taking time to hang out with us a little bit longer. Now, Willie, can you sing? I've asked you this before. Can you sing?
I can.
You can?
I can. Not like this gentleman to my right.
Who can sing, too.
Not like this gentleman to my right, but
I need both of y'all to cue him up, because we got to say happy birthday to James Harden today.
You know what? See, you got the honey bun.
We don't.
You got the honey bun for me.
Yeah, we got to say happy birthday to the best point guard the Houston Rockets have ever seen in their lives. I'm talking about the best of the best of the best of the best, James Harden. So who gonna go first? Come on, I'm gonna backdoor y'all. Go ahead.
He's a point guard? You want to call him a point guard? Is that
I look, he whatever he want to be. But listen, I heard that they got Russell Westbrook rated as the 10th best point guard in the NBA, and somebody had the nerve to have James Harden above Russell Westbrook. So it's his birthday, so he gets to do that today. Who gonna sing first? Go.
Yo, did you see the watch Russ got James though?
Man,
the Richard Mille? Yes, sir.
Man,
yes, sir.
all joking aside, I need James Harden to be my friend, and I need Russell Westbrook to be my friend because my friends don't break me off like that for my birthday. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. So AJ, would I be wrong for asking you that for my birthday from you? You got it like that, right?
Oh, bro, hear me when I say I got you. That's what you want for your birthday?
Not really, no.
Oh, I was going to say, Willie, send me that picture of that watch so I can send it to Kris.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Send me that picture, that GIF of that watch.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it GIF of that watch so I can send it to him?
Oh, it's like that. Come on, man.
Oh, that's nothing but love. I got nothing but love for you, Kris.
Wow.
I know one thing you could do for me though for my birthday.
What?
How you doing for your A&T gear, brother?
You know what? Only reason why I don't have it now is because North Carolina Central is playing in that MEAC SWAC game. You got a North Carolina Central page?
I can check and find out. I probably do.
Send it to me. All joking aside, I'm gonna wear the winning T-shirt from either North Carolina Central or Alcorn State on Monday after going to this MEAC SWAC challenge. So I'll rush order it if you got a North Carolina Central.
I'll look and find out. Sounds good, sir.
A&T is back burner right now, Doc. We got bigger fish to fry right now, man. But listen, y'all stay right there because I do have to say happy birthday to a couple of people on the pro side. Tommy Heinzen was born on this day. Of course, legendary player and coach with the Boston Celtics. Y'all remember Jamal Lewis? Who remembers Jamal Lewis?
Yeah.
Somebody give me a Jamal Lewis memory. Go, quick.
Oh, he ran for 2,000.
You know that like a poet, baby doll. And then I'm telling the best player that ever was, that ever will be. I ain't talking about Michael Jordan. I ain't talking about LeBron James. I ain't even talking about, may rest in power, Kobe Bryant. I'm talking about James Harden. I'm talking about the beard. Happy birthday to you, James. My address for the honey bun is, and I got to do some other birthdays real quick because, I got to do these. Folks get mad when I don't do their birthdays. So let me get these in real quick today. Latoya Goldsby Mosley is celebrating her birthday with Monique Luss, Karen Amos. Patrick Doc Allen used to be a Houston Oiler, celebrating his birthday today. Mr. Table Talk himself, TD Blackshear, celebrating a birthday with 6'4", turned 4'0". Christy Staples, she really is 6'4", by the way. Kareem Jackson, one of the baddest preachers in the business. Rosalind Bazell is celebrating a birthday with Isabel Aristobal. Also, Ashley Dunbar, one of the baddest singers out there, celebrating a birthday with Dr. Una Johnson and Steve Nagunjiri from Nigeria. Happy birthday to y'all.
Oh, go shorty, it's your birthday. Ooh, it's your birthday. Go shorty, it's your birthday. Today's your day. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, including James Harden. All right, y'all.
All right,
Did you hear
brother.
me? Did you just hear me?
I'm gonna send you a link.
Send it to me right now. I'm ready. Ready to
on chat and on text message. I'm gonna text it to you and send it to you in Messenger.
Right. All right. I appreciate you,
There
Kris.
is some central, and apparently we got a sale too, so you get it today, 25% off. It looks like.
It come through. I like sales.
So I see you on Messenger right now. So let me send it to you on text as well. It's high tech. But Will, I saw you singing, man. I saw you. I didn't hear you, but I saw you.
Yeah, you saw. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me.
No. I saw you. I saw your lips moving, but I didn't hear anything come out. Though.
Watch the replay, and you'll hear me sing. I'm telling you. Got you.
Okay.
Got you.
I don't know why I even try with these three. These are two-thirds of Folks Talking Sports, which I believe is going to be on this coming Friday, tomorrow. At what time, gentlemen?
7 p.m. Central, sir.
7 p.m. Central. It'll be Folks Talking Sports. And who will be the female component of Folks Talking Sports this Friday?
Unless she's available, Tamer Knight. If not, it's just going to be us and try to get somebody to talk some Memphis basketball about Amani Bates.
Hold on, real quick. Let me see if I got Rachel Nichols' number.
Wow.
That'd be the wrong person to have on our show.
Got a little time on her hands from what I understand.
Wait a minute.
Her hands from what I understand. I just said.
I'm sorry.
What happened? What happened?
The Ravens just traded rookie cornerback from Ohio State, Sean Wade, to the New England Patriots.
For who? Cam Newton?
No. It's interesting.
check your text message. Let me know if that link works for you, brother.
Let me see. Okay, I got it. I see it. Man, look at you.
Does it work?
Oh, hold on, I'm hitting it. Okay, it's busting up.
Okay, you got to scroll down some for Central, but I saw it.
Yeah, I see it right there. I see Norfolk State, FAMU, Howard, FAMU, North Carolina. No, that's A&T.
Yeah, keep going.
Aggies, FAMU, Tennessee State, Howard, Alabama State. Okay, I can get everything I don't have right here because
I saw at least 3 items with for Central on there. At least.
Okay. I'm still scrolling. There's some Morehouse. Boy, you got to be somebody to wear that Morehouse. Southern, Alabama State. I'm still scrolling.
Well, it's there. Because I know I found it. Because I wouldn't have sent it to you if I didn't see Central on there.
Yeah, I know. Man, I don't doubt you. Okay, there you go. I got it. Okay, I got it. And it's that kind of long sleeve maroon kind of shirt. Yeah, let me get on it. All right, so without further ado, I was talking with Willy Gibson about the Cleveland Browns, and he seems to think that Cleveland are my new Brad Stevens because it's kind of hard on them. Well, it ain't hard on your team, man. Look, y'all can't handle the heat. Y'all got to get up out the kitchen, big dog.
I didn't say you were hard on my team at all. First of all, Cleveland's not my team. It's the team that I cover.
There you go. Make it clear. Make it plain.
And, yeah, I'm not saying you're hard on them at all.
Wait a minute, hold on. I know y'all folks talking sports. Y'all not gonna come team up on me on my own show now. I'm telling you right now, one of y'all gonna accidentally drop off in a minute. I'm telling you that.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't for you. That was for folks who some folks hate this one.
Some people think we up there pom and cheerleading.
We ain't fans. Trust me, there's plenty in our town and in his, I'm sure, that are fans that got media passes.
Listen.
So that ain't mean, that ain't will. That ain't change, AJ. So that's just real talk.
No, it really is. And I've had some media personnel that are no longer with their professional organization try to pull me aside and said that my questions were as if I was a fan. And what I explained to her is I represent a fan base for my station, and I was asking questions that they wanted to hear, just like John McClain and some of those other ones ask questions that their followers want to hear. And she backed up off me and left me alone. I never got media credentials again, but she backed up off me that day. She did. She backed up off me. Yeah. Willie is like my brother. Good Lord. Am I on the top of your prayer list, Willie, or am I near the bottom?
I got you, bro. Right there. Got you.
All right. So, but anyway, no, the Cleveland Browns are not my new Brad Stevens. I think Cleveland has a chance to make a big step this year. I also think that if they do make that big step, they've got a chance to compete for that Super Bowl standpoint. I think it's going to be Kansas City and one of two teams, the Tennessee Titans or somebody else. And when I say that somebody else, I'm talking about Pittsburgh, Baltimore, or Cleveland if they take that next step.
I mean, that's valid. I mean, Tennessee has, the coach is in COVID protocol right now. Ryan Tannehill, the quarterback, went in COVID protocol today. The kicker is in COVID protocol. I guess if there's a time, this would be the time to do it.
It's the time. It's the time. Because watch this. This is the difference this year. They have their final preseason game this week, and then they got 2 weeks before their regular season opener. If you're going to get something or have to sit out or wonder about it, now's the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cleveland, again, it's progression. They came in last year, went 11-5, finished tied for second in the AFC North, and won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. Really came within a blown call of winning a second playoff game at Kansas City. That would have sent them to the AFC Championship game. So now you're coming in off of that with a rebuilt defense, coming back with a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. who could play Sunday in the preseason finale. And 2 weeks to get ready for Kansas City. I mean, I think this is the year for them to take that step. They've taken it's progression.
Yeah.
They've taken those steps. Now they won a playoff game on the road. They really should have won 2. Now, is this the division? I'm not going to go out here and say they're going to win the division, but I will say they will make the playoffs, and I'll say they'll go ahead and move forward, and then natural progression to get to LA.
Yeah. For me, they need to win the division.
Mm-hmm.
For me, and they need to take that next step. They need to get into that AFC Championship game. Keith Hennig said the Buffalo Bills are in that mix. Let me tell you something. If Buffalo don't get their inside of their house fixed, they're not about that life. They're not a mature team. They're not a seasoned veteran team. And all this off-field stuff with guys not wearing masks and getting $14,000 fines. Anytime Cole Beasley is the lead story out of your locker room, you're not headed in the right direction. So Buffalo has the ability, the talent, the coaching, and all of that to take that next step. But, man, when I tell you they're going about it all wrong, they're going about it all wrong.
And they paid the quarterback this offseason. So they got it out the way. He got paid. And so that kind of raised some eyebrows in Cleveland. Like, he got, what was it? What was the number? And so that 258 sent shockwaves through 76 Lou Groza Place, Cleveland Browns facility. That sent shockwaves. So, Baker being due, I don't think he'll get to 258. I think what they're going to do, honestly, as far as his contract is concerned, they're going to pay everyone else. And then go to him and say, hey, this is what we have.
That's what the Cowboys did. What Cowboys did. They took care of everybody else, and then they took care of Dak.
Yep.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, and I don't think that that's going to hurt them mentally if Baker is maturing as much as you say he is.
Yeah, he is. He's fine. He's fine with it. His people, from what I understand, they're not even focused on the contract right now because they know he still has this year and next year.
Gotcha. We got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, Willy Gibson, Will Knows podcast. Kris Gardner, I threw something out there earlier that I really love Shannon and Skip. I've been listening to them a lot lately. Give me your top 5 point guards in the NBA right now.
Chris Paul. Chris Paul is old school point guard, so
that's fine.
The rest of the dudes, I don't know what you want to call Dame. Is Dame a point guard?
I'll take that.
If you're gonna call James Harden a point guard, I don't know if James or Kyrie.
I don't know. Pick one of the two, Kyrie or James in Brooklyn. Pick one of the two.
For mental stability, I'm picking James.
Okay, so that's 3.
Wow, because I'm not big on lists and stuff. I'm trying to go through stuff in my head. Trae Young.
Okay. Where you got Steph?
And you're gonna put Steph in there? Put Steph in there. Yeah, that's fine. Put Steph ahead of Trae.
Okay. Are there 5 other guys after those 5 better than Russell Westbrook? 4 of those guys after those guys better than Russell Westbrook?
You'd have to tell me who they are because I'd have to really think about it because off the top of my head, I don't believe so. But you tell me who they are, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So who did they say?
And I'll come back to it. Back to it. Willie, give me your top 5.
I'm pretty much mirroring my brother, Chris Paul, Dame. I'll go Trae. For the same reasons he said, I can't put Kyrie in there. 1, 2, 3.
You gonna put Steph in there?
No. And all because Steph is a shooter. Show me Steph's assist numbers. I don't see. He's not a facilitator. He's not a distributor to me.
What's interesting?
I guess I can't talk about Steph.
Hold on, Willie. What's interesting is that's where Russell Westbrook is getting dinged. They said that he can facilitate and pass, but he can't do anything else. He's not a scorer, and he's not a consistent shooter.
He's a point guard.
He's a scorer.
Yeah, he's a
not
scorer.
Consistent shooter. Oh yeah, Bert's not a great shooter. He'll get you the ball. He'll get his teammates the ball when they want it.
Let me give you the names. Let me give you the names. All right. So at number 10, they had Russell Westbrook. At number 9, Ben Simmons.
Oh.
No.
Hold on. Let me read them now. Let me get them out. Okay. At number 8, De'Aaron Fox. At number 7, Drew Holiday. At number 6, Ja Morant. At number 5, Chris Paul. At number 4, Trae Young. At number 3, Kyrie Irving. At number 2, Damian Lillard. And at number 1, they've got Steph Curry.
Whose list was this? I'm sorry.
That's USA Today.
I mean, in terms of defense, Drew is the best. But the other stuff, scoring, facilitating, I mean, a lot of times Drew gives the ball to Giannis and go to work, which is a smart thing to do. But his overall game, no, he's not better than, in my opinion. Ben Simmons, at some point, you got to want to score. Got to be a threat on offense at some point.
So, and I don't want to take over the conversation, but let's do this. Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, Willy Gibson, Will Knows Podcast, 2/3 of Folks Talking Sports coming up this Friday. What's a point guard?
Well, let me go first. This is my take on it, because my take is old school. My take is a facilitator, getting assists, and then, if necessary, being a scoring threat. And I like my point guards be efficient. Mm-hmm. So 48% plus from the floor type numbers. That's me. Yeah.
Willie, what's a point guard to you?
I agree. Facilitator, someone who's going to set the table, get my team in the flow of the offense, put the ball where the other players need it to be most effective.
Yeah.
And then absolutely score. I mean, if you at that point you've done your job, you facilitated, you set the table, you set the offense, you run the offense. If I need a bucket, I need to be able to depend on you. I'm not looking for you to shoot 17 threes a game. But if you can give me a shot, if you can give me a score, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So for me, point guard is tying the two sports together, the quarterback on the basketball court. The quarterback on the basketball court for me is a point guard. So you getting them in and out of the right plays. You are efficiently running the plays. You're getting the ball to who's supposed to get the ball. And when it's your job to make a play, it is your job to make a play. You are the quarterback on the court.
Do you still have the list?
I do.
Fingertips?
Yep.
Because out of that 10, based on our definition, we got CP up there. Ja Morant is more point guard than the rest of those dudes.
That's where I'm going now, because if I had to put faces and names on point guards, I'm going definitely Magic Johnson. That's a point guard. I'm definitely going John Stockton. That's a point guard. Watch this. I'll give you another one. I'll give you Kenny Anderson was a true point guard. Chris Paul is a true point guard. I'm not talking about just having somebody play at the one, because they don't really play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anymore. I'm talking about a true point. You got guys that will play point guard, but you got guys that are point guards. And I don't see a whole lot of guys that are point guards on this list.
Yeah. Isaiah Thomas.
Thomas was
Mark Jackson.
A point guard. Mark Jackson, point guard.
The definition has changed. The times have changed. Pull up the list while you do that, brother. I'm going to try to pull up something from years ago and see if I can find it.
Okay.
Because it was
so again, they got Steph at number 1. They got Dame at number 2. Is Dame facilitating for Portland like a point guard, or is Dame making plays?
Dame's a scorer.
Right.
That's what we know him as a scorer. So
Number 3, Kyrie Irving. I'll give them
Kyrie's more of a point guard than Dame.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I say I'll give them that one. But for some reason, Kyrie just don't get no love wherever he goes. Trae Young.
I mean, today's point guard, yeah. But he looks to score.
Yeah.
You know, he's a scoring guard more than he's a point guard. So.
But Trae is definitely a playmaker too. You mess around and lay off of Clint Capella, he gonna find him. You mess around and lay off one of them other dudes, he gonna find him. So I'll give him that, but I don't know if I put him over some of those other people he's over. Chris Paul at number 5.
Yeah, that's too low. He's like the definition. He's like the prototype.
Yeah.
What we consider a point guard.
Yeah. Right. And you know, again, people use these phrases, point guard and all that. Just because you call him something don't mean that we all gotta, bow down to that. He is truly a point guard. I will give you that. Ja Morant.
Yeah, I like him.
Here we go. I found it. It's one of my old commentaries from going on 25 years ago from an article, based on an article from Inside Sports. Remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
February 1996. NBA personnel said the following characteristics of the ideal / true point guard. Great ball handling ability.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to go past opponents to penetrate and break down the defense. The ability to put pressure on the ball all over the court.
Mm-hmm.
A good jump shot. The ability to create plays for his teammates.
Mm-hmm.
The ability to create his own shot. The ability to finish plays. The vision to see the entire court.
Yep.
And the basketball brain to recognize, react to, and resolve every situation he sees.
A good jump shot.
Innate leadership and the ability to make the right decision instantly, and most importantly, a team first, pass first mentality, which requires an unselfish nature and the willingness to think of others before himself.
Yeah.
That's 25 years ago.
Yeah, it ain't changed. Well, it has changed, but that doesn't mean it should have changed. And there's another name that I'll throw on there in his prime when he was running with the Big Three in Boston, and that was Rajon Rondo.
He's more of that than this.
Yeah, I know.
25 years ago and back then, John Stockton was the point guard based on these criteria.
Yep.
It has changed so much. Magic was that.
Yep.
Isaiah was close, but in terms of getting buckets, Isaiah will go off on you if necessary.
Yep.
Much more than John Stockton.
Yep.
It wasn't John's mentality. It wasn't really, his goal, his part of the team.
Yeah.
But, Michael Jordan was a lead guard. Mike ran offense. He facilitated. He played defense. He broke down defenses. We all know he passed open teammates. Steve Kerr, John Paxson, B.J. Armstrong. He kept them involved. But come fourth quarter, Mike, you take over. Consider it done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But those teams, the point guard was who? Was it Hodges?
Ron Harper, Hodges.
Yeah.
It varied. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Jason Kidd is Hall of Fame point guard Jason Kidd.
Right.
I'm just kind of going back through, and I'm just trying to figure out how the definition of a point guard is Russell Westbrook, and I'm not stomping for Russ. Definition of a point guard is Russell Westbrook, but Russell Westbrook gets dinged for fulfilling the definitions of a point guard.
Yeah, Russ is a point guard who can't shoot well. Russ will get his teammates the ball.
It ain't the last, because several of those guys, Jason Kidd couldn't shoot worth nothing. Magic Johnson couldn't shoot worth nothing. They hit big shots.
They became better shooters. Yeah,
they got better later in their career, but they weren't going to light it up for, 73% from the field or nothing crazy like that. They just weren't going to do that.
Ja Morant is a point guard who is developing his outside shot.
Right.
And he's getting better.
Right.
You know, Steph and Dame, those dudes are shooters. Steph is a shooter.
Yeah.
Dame is a scorer who shoots from deep range.
Yeah.
You know, Ben Simmons ain't a shooter.
Yeah.
At all.
You know, and to add to it, he doesn't want to shoot. You know, okay, it's good that folks are showing these little summertime workout clips of, okay, good. That ain't November, December, January, whatever. Show me stuff, real games.
Willie, didn't you just send me something?
Yes, sir.
Was Steph Curry in the summertime, and then come regular season, he got it up.
He Michael Kidd Gilchrist.
Yeah, got a broken jumper. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of dudes a lot of basketball players, women too, can shine in the off season. Come game time, where's all the work you put in the off season? Oh, well, about that. Yeah, okay. Then go back to work because you're not helping me right now.
Yeah. We got Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball Review, joining us. Willy Gibson, Will Knows Podcast. 2/3 of Folks Talking Sports. That's going to air tomorrow. What time tomorrow night? Tomorrow evening, guys?
7 p.m. Central Time.
7 p.m. Central Time. Looking forward to it. Some good stuff. I just kind of wanted to get that out there because, man, for whatever reason, folks don't like the trade of Russell Westbrook to the Lakers, and they feel like, you know, they don't feel like LeBron is going to get off the ball. They feel like LeBron is still going to be LeBron on the ball. But like you just said about Jordan, fourth quarter, late in the game, or we got to go on a run, there's nothing wrong with running the offense through a LeBron James. But it's awesome when you can have somebody who can handle the ball and your star player doesn't have to do that, doesn't have to get worn out bringing the ball up the court. You got somebody who can bring it up efficiently, with determination, with purpose, with reason. If Phoenix had that this last series, we might be talking about a whole different situation than what we were talking about. So let me ask you this. I heard Russell Westbrook called a franchise killer. Like, they named off all the people that chose not to play with Russ anymore, namely Kevin Durant, Paul George, ultimately James Harden. Bradley Beal wanted to continue to play with him, but he got traded to LA. Think back, either sport, football or basketball. Who would truly be a franchise killer in your experience?
James Harden.
It's funny you say that because that was going to be my answer. That's going to be my answer. Willie, anybody, football, basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, James that's probably the top 5 I can think of. Yeah, James.
Yeah, James has a unique nature of not being able to work with anybody.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, bro. I get that if he had stayed in Oklahoma City, this might be a whole different dialogue. It didn't work out like that. But when he came here, he could not work with anybody. And, you know, everybody's talking about how well he's adjusted in Brooklyn. It was how many games? It wasn't even a full.
Yeah, but whose team is it in Brooklyn? It ain't his.
Right.
It wasn't his in Oklahoma City either.
Right. You know, we know James is a supreme talent. But we also know that's KD's team. And if push come to shove, Kyrie would tell James, hold up. I'm number 2 here. Not you.
Yeah.
I got a ring. You don't.
Yeah.
So James can hunt him hard. Hey, but I got triple doubles. Whatever. I got one of these.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. We celebrated the birthday of a dude yesterday that has more rings than Kevin Durant and James Harden combined. Big Shot Bob, Robert Ory, celebrated his birthday yesterday. Don't at me. It's just a proven fact. Dude's got not 1, not 2, not 3. How many did LeBron say? Not 4, not 5.
Got 7.
6, but 7.
Still in the Hall of Famer, though.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. That's all right. Everybody don't get in.
I'm just saying because we had this discussed. He came up in one of our Folks Talking Sports episodes, and I mentioned Big Shot Bob's stats. It was like 7, 4, and 5, whatever it was. Will was like, yeah, no, not a Hall of Famer.
No,
so
can't do that.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, though.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He's a good dude. Let me go back to the franchise killers. Was Brett Favre a franchise killer?
For which franchise?
Yeah, what was I saying?
He didn't listen.
He didn't kill the Packers.
He didn't walk away from the Green Bay Packers. He got invited to leave. So was he a franchise killer? Pick a franchise.
I mean, I'd say not in Green Bay because they had a replacement ready for him. So they didn't fall off a cliff after he was shown the door.
Oh, but if they didn't have an Aaron Rodgers.
Well, see, that's different. Like in James Harden's case, James left, Rockets have started rebuilding. So I mean, they hit the reset button. Truly, the Packers didn't do that.
Was Tim Tebow a franchise killer?
I don't think he was good enough to be a franchise worth anything. But
there were a lot of people that were extremely emotional and definitive about their feelings about Tim Tebow inside of those locker rooms, including Jacksonville.
Well, I don't doubt that. Tim Tebow, he was quite polarizing.
Okay.
A very polarizing figure. But I've not kept up with football as much as I used to. But I'm really trying to think about in football a franchise killer.
Terrell.
I was going to say T.O.
Was he a franchise killer?
Because he upset some folks wherever he went. He was polarizing too. So
quarterback, man. That's my quarterback. Chad Ochocinco, was he a quarterback killer? No. I mean, a franchise killer. I'm sorry.
No, they loved Chad in Cincinnati.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. In fact, they loved Chad and T.O. in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Funny
story about Chad one day, if I could share it.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I and you go to the stadium, you see the security guys, things of that nature, and talking to the guy one day, and he said there was he works the players a lot, so you see Benzes, Range Rovers, BMWs, pickup trucks, whatever, and he's standing there and a rusted out blue Chevy Caprice attempts to pull in the players lot. And so he's like, he jumps in front of the car, stops it like, yo, sir, public parking is around the corner. This is players lot. Rolls down the window. It's Chad. And a blue rusted out Chevy Caprice. And he's like, Chad, what are you doing? And he said, I don't want anybody to follow me home. And they wouldn't think it's me if I'm driving this rusted out blue Chevy Caprice. Yeah.
That's I like that about Chad. I like that about Chad.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that about Chad. I like a lot of things about Chad. Chad, T.O., and TJ Houshmandzadeh. I love them cats. Boy, those were the days. That's why I say Andy Dalton was the quarterback killer, or head coach killer up there. Let me give you another name real quick. And Willie, I know you got to go.
Another name franchise?
Let me step back on this. Is Kevin Durant a franchise killer?
Ooh. I would have thought that before I heard him and Draymond last week. That changed some things for me.
I'd say no. KD, he talks sometimes. He's too much into social media, a lot for my taste. I'm the old man and, all that kind of stuff. Keep to yourself. But, the Warriors really fell off because of Clay's injury, other injuries. KD leaving, hurt them as maybe a championship caliber team, but Clay's injuries is why they fell off, A
lot of people don't realize how many guys got hurt
that year
and in that run, man. I mean, Kevon Looney was playing with a broken bone in his chest. I mean, it was severe. Yeah. I think Draymond was the only dude standing,
Steph was hurt, Clay hurt, Kevon Looney hurt.
Oh, and they still beat the Rockets that year, but I'm gonna leave that alone.
Leave that alone, yeah.
Yeah. Is LeBron James a franchise killer?
No.
Why would you say so? No. I mean, for the folks who toss it out there, he got a championship for Cleveland.
I'm just asking.
Everybody knew he was going to leave it. Eventually.
I'm just saying he is that dude that has been to an NBA Finals with every team that he's been on and won a championship with every team that he's been on. And that's why I tell people, I know y'all want to put Kevin Durant in that discussion. I get it. But still, he has not done what LeBron has done, let alone what Jordan has done. Again, if we want to spread the line out and say all these guys are some of the greatest of all time, I'll give you that. But to replace LeBron with Kevin and ultimately Jordan with Kevin, I ain't ready. I'm not ready.
So let me ask this, because I saw this the other day, and it kind of lends credence to your point. Who's the greatest scorer right now in the league? Right now, currently. Best scorer currently playing in the league.
KD.
Yeah. KD.
Yeah. I'm trying not to make it be KD, but okay.
But it's KD. So KD, career average, 27 points a game. LeBron, career average, 27 points a game. But KD's the best scorer in the game. LeBron's third all time in scoring.
Okay.
But KD's the best scorer in the game.
I got you.
Well, I'd have said like 2 years ago, I'd have said LeBron.
Okay.
But LeBron coming off injuries and KD not, KD. We're splitting hairs there. But it's different kind of players. I think KD's a better shooter, deeper range. Mm-hmm. LeBron can do more work in the post. LeBron's become a better three-point shooter. But today, I would say KD.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Was Shaquille O'Neal a franchise killer?
We could argue that. I know, because Shaq, to me, hurt himself. He never got in shape. He never stayed in shape.
Yeah.
Shaq, he became more dominant because of his weight. He was just so much bigger than dudes. Remember young Shaq?
Yeah.
Run up and down the floor as a 7-footer. You're like, my gosh, look at this young athlete run up and down the floor at his size.
Yeah.
And then he just became 7'1", 380.
Two franchises really made Shaq focus on his weight, his conditioning, and his endurance. The Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns did. Not saying the Lakers and those other teams didn't, but that was part of his money and ability to get on the court. The Miami Heat and the Phoenix Suns all had that written into his contract.
And fellas, if I can we go back to the point guard talk? Rockets, who's the point guard?
Kevin Porter Jr.
See, you said him. You didn't say John Wall.
Wow. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to write John Wall off this team, but I don't see John Wall on this team.
But your answer,
trade deadline,
as KPJ wrote off John Wall. So.
Yeah, and again, we teammates and all that, but bro, my mind is on playing. And if you're gonna be healthy and you're gonna play too, when I come out, you come in. When you come out, I come in. I get that, but Kevin Porter Jr. to me is the point guard of the future of this team.
But in terms of our definition, who was more of a true point guard, John Wall or KPJ?
John Wall. Yeah. Willie, I know you got to go. Tell everybody where they can find you and follow you and all the great stuff you're doing. Mr. Will Knows Podcast.
Appreciate it as always. Will Gibson 7, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is the Will Knows page, Will Knows Podcast, and also tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, Folks Talking Sports. Kris Gardner, Andy Yanez. Kris Gardner of the Houston Roundball Review. Local name, global perspective.
I can't wait till the Will Knows Podcast comes out because we got all kinds of taglines for you, bro. We got all kinds of taglines for you.
Appreciate you.
Hey, if you want to drop some Central State coverage in there and some Wilberforce coverage in there, bring it.
I got you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll talk to you soon, man.
All right, appreciate it. You as well.
Willy Gibson, appreciate him hanging out extra time with me. Gave him some chance to talk about those Cleveland Browns. Stay right there. We'll come right back with Kris Gardner right after this on the lunch break.
Do you have a home that you don't want anymore? We can buy it from you within 24 hours. Any home, size, or condition. For over 20 years, we've been buying homes for cash and helping homeowners sell their homes immediately with no listings or strangers walking through your home. Are you moving? Did you lose your job? Going through a divorce? Whatever the reason, if you're in a bind and you know that you need to sell your house fast, call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. We'll make you a serious cash offer to buy your home in 24 hours and let you walk away from it. No listing, no waiting. Sell any home, any size, any condition now. Call the expert team at I Need to Sell My House Fast. Make this free call now.
800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. 800-306-1760. That's 800-306-1760. If your loved one has passed away due to COVID-19, pay close attention to this message. You could be entitled to a death benefit of over $300,000. The U.S. government has set up a fund to pay families relief if they've lost a loved one due to COVID-19. We know this is a hard time for you, and this fund has been set up by the federal government to help ease your pain. The compensation includes a death benefit and lost wages benefit. Time is limited, so we urge you to make a free phone call right now. There's no cost to you for this claim. All legal fees are only covered once you receive your money. So if you've lost a loved one due to COVID-19, call the legal helpline right now to find out if you qualify for a cash award. Here's our number: 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. 800-876-7047. That's 800-876-7047.
You're having your lunch on the lunch break with KYOK.
All right, y'all, we're back here on the lunch break on the legendary KYOK and the all-new 92.3 FM. AJ Jones, Kris Gardner, Houston Roundball review. Kris, I'm getting ready to go down to Atlanta, Georgia, hang out with the MEAC SWAC Challenge over there. Football. But I'm planning to cover the HBCUs for football, basketball, baseball. I'm covering North Carolina A&T golf, because they got a bad golfer down there, my new favorite golf team. And oh yeah, by the way, I got a message from you-know-who, which sent me a link to to do you-know-what. I'll send that over to you so you can take care of your business as well.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Real quick, we're talking about the conference alignment from a football perspective. Where's the best place for U of H to be? U of H, they're in AAC now.
Pac-12.
Sampson has said he wants to be in a Power 5. We know Tillman Fertitta has said he wants to be in a Power 5. What's the best place for U of H?
Pac-12.
Okay. I'm glad to hear you say that, because hear me when I say I don't want U of H to have nothing to do with the Big 12-ish. I don't. What they got? 5 schools, 4, 3? What are you going down?
The leftover 8? Yeah. The Pac-12 made the most sense 10 years ago, makes the most sense today. The Big 12 got a bunch of cowards who the Texas schools are afraid to have U of H in the conference because they're afraid of the same thing repeat itself from the 70s when U of H joined the Southwest Conference and they kicked behind. So they're cowards. Instead, they're afraid to compete and don't want to let U of H in the conference. So based on that, the Pac-12 makes sense to me because one issue that Pac-12 followers have said is the lack of TV coverage, lack of coverage from Central Time Zone, East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you get Houston in there. You got state of Texas, middle of the country. You get eyeballs and interest in your conference if you have a big market, 8th major market in Houston in your conference. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Research facility, research university, all those things. It's made so much sense to me. I don't know why it hasn't been done before. Because AJ, I was told 10 years ago that it was being discussed 10 years ago about U of H to the Pac-12. And one of the schools, it was 4 schools. Another one of the schools involved was Oklahoma. So Oklahoma, I think Oklahoma State, U of H, and I forget the 4th school. But that was 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand the reticence for the administrators from the Pac-12 not to add U of H. Because I've seen the commissioner say, tout, one of the things we love about our conference is we're in 2 time zones, in Mountain and Pacific. Okay.
Right.
So why not be in Central time zone? I just don't understand that.
I obviously, there's a lot going on. Willie made that announcement by the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Pac-12 makes sense to me. And it's going to be some time before we see any real movement in that. The commissioner of the Big 12-ish, I really want to know if he's okay. I really don't know if he's, I just don't get him. But Willie made that make sense, because what is he going to say? He's going to say we're in trouble. We're on the verge of falling apart. I'm bringing in Oliver Luck to save my job. I mean, what do we expect him to say? And then when you hear the commissioner of the ACC saying that we need the Big 12 to survive and be, vibrant and all that kind of stuff, what kind of hold does the Big 12 hold over all these other conferences? I don't get it.
Yeah, they say they need them so much, but they don't want to include them in the alliance.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then your actions speak louder than your words.
I'd like to see the AAC or somebody bring the Big 12 into them, as opposed to them going over to the Big 12.
This is my take. U of H needs ESPN or Fox to go to the Pac-12, the leftover 8, and say, we're going to give you hundreds of millions of dollars, but you are going to invite U of H to your conference. If you don't, then we're not going to give you hundreds of millions of dollars. You're going to take our crumbs. Beyond that, I don't know what U of H can do to get into the Pac-12. Like I said, the Big 12 is a bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
Because they said U of H should have been in the part of the conference since the beginning.
Right.
But money-wise, it makes sense for the leftover 8 to stick together. Because as long as they're together, the grant of rights still apply. They get the money from Oklahoma and Texas to buy. It's going to happen. It's a question of when it's going to happen. They get the money from those 2 big boys. But if they splinter and the Big 12 disbands, then that money from Texas OU doesn't have to be paid.
Yeah.
But U of H's problem is, unless things change, the American Athletic Conference does not have autonomy power. The leftover 8 in its current form still does. As unstable as they are, they still have autonomy power. So U of H's kind of just hoping and praying that the Pac-12 and the commissioner is supposed to announce probably tomorrow the decision about to expand or not. I don't know if they're going to expand, at least make it announcement tomorrow.
Yeah.
But one of the most prominent writers of Pac-12 conference, John Wilner, wrote today for the Mercury News, San Jose Mercury News. He wrote that he did not believe that the Pac-12 will decide to expand tomorrow. But if they do, in an alternate universe, the clear choice is Houston to add to the conference. The clear choice. And he gave details, and I'll email it to you after soon so you can read it. He gave details about why he went through the other leftover 8 schools and said why those schools weren't good for the Pac-12. And then he got to Houston and said they are the clear choice of the rest of the schools. UCF's too far away.
Yeah.
And then he explained why TCU's not a good fit, BYU not a good fit, on and on and on. But he said U of H is a clear choice. Said all that. But he still doesn't believe that the Pac-12 will decide to expand.
Yeah, 2 teams that I feel like a Power 5 conference should pick up, University of Houston and University of Cincinnati.
I agree.
Yeah.
It makes, in terms of logic, the Big 12 that's who the Big 12 should add.
Yeah.
Cincinnati and Houston.
Yeah.
But when I'm seeing reports and hearing people say the Big 12 is considering everybody but Houston,
yeah,
all a bunch of cowards.
Yeah. All right. The Rockets picked up a couple of players on. Okay, you answered my question. Is that something we should be excited about?
Daisha Nix and Tyler Bay, they're Exhibit 10 contracts. They're just deals that could turn into two-way contracts later on if they show wares and the team believes in them enough to put them on the G League, that kind of stuff. No.
Gotcha.
Those are development guys.
Okay.
Long-term possibilities.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to say Brittany Griner slammed another one down last night. And then I saw Swaggy P go on social media and say, but that's not where you tap your head. That's because she didn't slam on anybody. Do the guys know how to just let the ladies have their moment? Do they always have to have something to say?
Some do, and some don't.
Some correction of the women's game. Why can't they just mind their business? Is Swaggy P even on somebody's roster right now?
Nope. He's trying to get relevant again. No. We all know it, and we know some folks like this. Some folks just gotta make themselves relevant by hating on somebody else's accomplishments. I mean, what? I had not even heard of Swaggy P until you write him up. It's been years since I heard of him.
Bruh. I'm like, sweet dunk. And then, of course, she gets hurt later on in the game, so we're now concerned about her. And didn't say, I hope she's okay. That's not where you tap your head because you didn't dunk on somebody. And then, of course, all the Cro-Magnon men that follow Swaggy P, now she tweaking. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but we as men can be dumb as the day is long sometimes.
Oh, no question. Not a day goes by. More and more, I see so much ignorance in this country. I wonder how we've accomplished what we've accomplished.
Well,
because there's a lot of willful ignorance here in the United States.
Yeah.
A lot of issues.
I got you. How's Cynthia Cooper doing? Have you checked on them down there over at U of H? I mean, over at TSU?
Freudian slip there, brother. Freudian slip. I have not checked on Coop yet.
If that happens, you heard it here first on the lunch break.
That's a story that I need to tell you off the record, off the air, because that ain't gonna happen. Trust me, that ain't gonna happen unless people in charge change at U of H. That ain't happening.
Stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened.
Well, I gotta hold my tongue on this stuff, right? Get in trouble more so than I already am with some of those people over there. But no, I haven't talked to Coop in a while. I need to talk to her because I think they got a commitment from a player yesterday or Tuesday, so I need to hit her up.
Okay.
I haven't heard back from the SID regarding interviewing Coach Jones on the fella side, so I'm gonna do what you suggested and go to Kevin Granger.
Yeah.
Go do it that way. Try to be polite and follow protocol and everything, and that's where that got me. But not just TSU, PV, HBU, y'all get ignored too this season. So y'all ignore me, ignore y'all too. Not a problem for me.
Well, and I tell you, my producer said the lunch break is going to be your Houston connection for HBCU sports and more. I said, bro, I like it. That's
fine. Show love to those who love you.
Yeah, and if I got to go all the way to Atlanta to cover Alcorn and North Carolina Central, thank you to the MEAC SWAC people. If I got to go all the way to the State Classic and cover Prairie View and Grambling, thank you to the Prairie View people. I'm excited, bro. I'm excited to go where people are opening doors for us to go. So last thing I wanted to talk about, Kris, real quick before we go. It's one of those subjects. I know you got a relationship with U of H. To hear what happened to the young man where he took his own life, world-class sprinter, son of Leroy Burrell and his mom, Cam Burrell. Just what thoughts come to mind for you? What would you say to young people out there that are listening and just might need to hear this, or parents who don't know how to deal with a child that might have those kind of suicidal tendencies and ideations?
It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
I've had doubts, for a lot based on work, success, lack of success, all that kind of stuff. The sun shines in the morning.
Yeah.
You come to the morning, talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody can help you. Just tell someone you need help. We're here for you. Lean on us.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
You're not alone. That's it right there. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You're not alone. And, when I saw the news about, Cam, and I heard probably an hour or two after the fact about him taking his life, but I didn't want to put it out there because it wasn't my place to put it out there.
Yeah.
Once Leroy did it, I think a day or two later, but Cam was friends with Tamer Knight, one of my mentees. He was close with Dorian Branch, another one of my mentees. So I try to reach out to them, make sure they're okay. But yeah, man, it's tough.
Yeah.
But you're not alone. That's the bottom line. You're not alone.
Yeah. Kris, I appreciate that. Do me a favor, tell everybody where they can find you and follow you, brother. Houston
Roundball Review.com, the HR.com, Houston Roundball Review on YouTube, as well as Instagram. Twitter is some of y'all say the HR Review. I'm with co-hosts, my buddies in crime, Willy Gibson and Yanez, folks talking sports at least once a week. Next show will be Friday, August 27th, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. Catch it on Facebook and YouTube. We're going to talk about U of H, Rockets, and Imani Bates' commitment to Memphis. Should hopefully have a clip with Steven Johnson, who follows Memphis tomorrow. Have a clip of that on the show as well tomorrow. Folks talking sports. Houston Roundball Review from my brother. Local name, global perspective since 1994.
I love it, man. You be safe out there. We're going to talk back to you again soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you as always.
All right, man. Kris Gardner, y'all. Look, let me get ready to get out of here. Before I do, got to get our new sponsor on. If you want to get back in shape, Studio Zumba Plus is the place for you. Here they are.
Hey y'all, it's Natasha Marie and I'm here today to talk to you about Studio Zumba Plus. Studio Zumba Plus, whether you're more than just Zumba, is Houston's new prime location for fitness classes, body contouring, and event space rental needs. Oh, and I cannot forget $5 line dance Fridays. So get on over to Studio Zumba Plus, where their motto is you dance it off, contour it off, and then celebrate with a party that is off. They are located on 13018 Woodforest Boulevard, Suite E. That is 13018 Woodforest Boulevard, Suite E. Book your appointment at StudioZumbaPlus.com. That's StudioZumbaPlus.com. And their telephone number is 737-808-1408. 737-808-1408. 737-808-1408. There are no more excuses, y'all. Let's get it.
Thank you, Studio Zumba Plus. Y'all have a blessed rest of your day. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Atlanta.
The legendary 1140 AM KYOK Conroe and 92.3 FM K222CX Houston.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Good having Willy Gibson on and Kris Gardner. A lot of just, free-flowing talk. But again, if you want to get back in shape, Studio Zumba Plus. They are the people for you. You make sure you call them and you hang out with Studio Zumba Plus. I'm excited for them being our new sponsor for that segment of the show. Tomorrow I'll be live from Atlanta, so be sure and tune in right here. Got some special guests that'll be joining me as we get ready for the MEAC SWAC Challenge. Also, don't forget, we'll be giving away tickets next week to the State Fair Classic. That'll be Prairie View and Grambling coming up on September the 25th. I want y'all to be sure to tune in for that. And we'll have more information about Labor Day Classic tickets and the Bayou Classic, okay? As always, not this, definitely this. I love y'all. There's nothing you can do about it. Be sure and wear your mask where you're supposed to. Wash your hands like you're supposed to. Consider getting vaccinated, and whatever you do. When you see that racism and that bullying, kill it. Not the people or the person, but the racism and bullying. Don't be quiet about it. Don't laugh about it, and don't spread it. Be sure and stop it, all right? Y'all take care. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Atlanta. Love y'all.